Hello, everybody. We welcome you to our next segment here on our 2024 Sooner Athletic Conference, Women's Basketball Media Day. I'm Jim Powers, Assistant Commissioner of the Sooner, and we're going to head over to our great friends over at Southwestern Christian University and their head basketball coach on the women's side, Andi Rollins, and one of her outstanding players, Kennedy Allison. And Kennedy, we'll start off with you. Thanks for the time. And the transition a little bit from coach that's been there as an assistant. How has that gone during the off season? And I know you guys have a lot to prove because you want to kind of improve a little bit after last year. So talk a little bit about how the preseason's gone and the transition from Coach Arthur over to Coach.
The preseason, it was long, but we made it. We definitely had all kinds of workouts. Sometimes we were like, what are we even doing? But they all worked to what we do in practice today. So she always had us doing some great things that translate to how we play. It's definitely going to be different this year. She has a different style of play, but I think it will help us in the long run and help us with our season overall.
As a junior, you've been there and you know what the program's all about. Talk a little bit about your leadership too, because I know with a good group of veterans, but then a group of incomers coming in, they've got to be a leader. So, what kind of leader are you? Are you a vocal leader, or are you more of a lead by example, or is there a combination of both with how you like to portray yourself?
I think it's different every day. I'm kind of quiet, but I'll always go first. I'll always help people that are struggling, even like our newcomers. I feel like I'm always there to help with the new plays or just telling them what to do in the next drill or something. But I would definitely say I teach them instead of being like loud or yelling and stuff like that.
Coach, talk a little bit about Kennedy and what she has meant for the program and how you've maybe leaned in on her a little bit as one of those veteran leaders.
No, the growth, the progress that she's made, this now being her second year here at SCU, is really night and day. I mean, we got her as a transfer from East Central. She comes in and she was kind of like, oh, what's going on? Like this is different, but it's something that she was open to be a part of. And through a combination of things that we do on court and the spiritual aspect of the things that we do off court, she's really taken that on, and she's really been a leader on and off the court, like she said. And something that I've been really proud to see the growth in that, because her game's gotten better. I mean, she's doing things now in this preseason that she wouldn't have even dared to try last season. So the growth on the court is great, but the maturity, the leadership, and everything else that comes with it is even better to see.
And obviously, Coach, you've got a good mix of veterans, but you also got some young players coming in. So, who are some of the names that we are going to see on the stat sheets while we watch games and get to know you guys throughout the year?
Yeah, so we'll have we'll bring back our starting point guard the last 2 years. We'll bring back our kind of combo guard in MJ Case. So we've got Jaden, we've got MJ, Kennedy, obviously. Some of the incoming are actually going to be really experienced girls. So some that we'll rely on are girls that either came from a JUCO out at NOC Tonkawa, a girl from Redlands, and Alexis, and then we're going to have a transfer from Northwestern in Northwest Oklahoma State with Chris and Harland, and so going to be relying on a lot of girls that have a lot of experience. So basically, the challenge for me has been to kind of just teach our style and do what we do it really well. Not can't worry about all the other factors and all the other teams, but what we do, we want to be excellent at. And so we're going to be relying on a lot of returning faces and new faces as well.
And Kennedy, talk a little bit about the style. You mentioned a minute ago, maybe some subtle differences here and there. So, talk a little bit about how much fun you're going to have this year playing in a little bit of a different style than what you guys have played in the past.
I feel like we're just gonna be able to play instead of having like kind of like street ball, I guess you'll say, but if there's more structure, we're just going to we can just go out there and have fun with each other and not just feel like we have to run a certain play.
And Coach, I know that's one of the suits that you're bringing in is letting the players have a little bit more creativity. And once again, we're not giving away government secrets or
Right.
anything here, but you're letting them be creative. And obviously, defense turns into offense. You want to get it and go in transition, but there's a little bit more freedom, especially when you got players like Kennedy and some of the other veterans that are going to be, in that lineup for you.
Yeah, no, I mean, like she said, I mean, we've got structure, we've got, there's rules to certain things, but putting them in positions that allow them to use their skill set and to use it to their full potential. And so, not putting them in a box, not putting them, not isolating them in one position and keeping them there, but allowing them to just play. And at all times, me keeping the five best players on the floor at all times. But also kind of focusing on our depth, which was a weakness of our team last year. We didn't play very many girls, and so I think we can go a little deeper this year, and we can rely on the skill set of those girls that are going to be coming off the bench for us as well.
And your non-conference schedule, which is a really good one, you're playing at the Bellevue Classic, you're playing Bellevue, you're playing Dickinson State. That's a great way to get things going. And then, Southwestern College. So talk a little bit about how your non-conference schedule is going to get you ready for just an unbelievable, group of teams in the Sooner. And we'll talk about the Sooner here in a few minutes.
Yep. No, I mean, looking forward to going up. I think we travel up Halloween to go to Nebraska. Yeah, and our three non-conference games will be on the road. So all three will be on the road. That in itself is a test, but not playing any slack competition in that as well. So going to give us a challenge. Going to see where we look before we kick it off on the 14th.
Yeah, and the Sooner, and this has been a common thread in talking with all of our coaches this year. And I arguably say we have the best basketball in NAI in the Sooner Athletic Conference. And this year, I think more than ever, because this is as deep of a year as I've seen, in watching the Sooner over the last bunch of years. Anybody can beat anybody on any given night.
Absolutely. No, and with the addition of Ozarks, that yeah, you just made it that much harder. Absolutely.
And this year too, it's a little bit different with, you mentioned it a moment ago, some new coaches in the league and, including yourself, even though you've been a part of the program for a little while, but that's going to bring a little bit of a different look for a lot of the teams this year.
No, yeah, like what is it? I think six new head coaches among the programs. So definitely a different look. I'm looking forward to seeing some of the other coaches do well. Um, shout out to my girl at John Brown. But no, my strategy, and I've told them, like, if we're gonna fail hard, we're gonna fail fast, and we're gonna bounce back, and we're gonna learn from it. So definitely a learning curve, even though, like you said, I've been around the program. I've been around this program for, as a player and a coach for a while, but there's definitely some new things that we'll have to figure out this year for sure.
And Kennedy, for you as a player, it's got to be a lot of fun playing against some of the top players, not only in the Sooner Athletic Conference, but in the nation. And that's got to make it fun for you to get ready to play night in and night out.
Yes, I am very excited to actually start up this year and get the season on the road for sure.
And the support you all get there is just unbelievable. And it's got to be a lot of fun to play in front of a great, great group of fans that love to come out and watch you guys play.
For sure. It's a small little gym, but you can always feel the energy in there. It's always loud, it's always packed, and it makes the games 10 times better.
Hey, when I coached, I loved playing in the old style small gyms that were just loud. And coach, I'm sure you're excited. You've been a part of it, sitting in the number one seat, number two seat. Now you're in the number one seat, and now you get to be the head coach in front of just some great, crowd support. The community sports support is terrific. That's got to make it a lot more exciting to get into games here in the next month or so.
Oh, absolutely. And not only the support of the, the players that have, kind of been, it's been passed to me from Coach Arthur, but Coach Arthur still being as athletic director. And so if I got a question, I'm running up to his office in the middle of practice, and I'm kind of tapping into that knowledge and that experience. So having that support, both kind of the X's and O's and just the how do you run a program and how do you create culture, has been awesome as well.
Absolutely. Well, I'm excited to see you guys play this year. It's going to be a lot of fun. Thank you so much for the time during this very, very busy part of the preseason, but it's going to be a lot of fun to watch Southwestern Christian get after it this year.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
We want to thank head coach Andi Rollins and one of our outstanding basketball players and student athletes, Kennedy Allison, for joining us. And they're going to have a great season. They're going to be a lot of fun to follow throughout the year. When we come back, we'll continue talking to all of our great coaches and our great student athletes here on the 2024 Sooner Athletic Conference Women's Basketball Media Day.